Hello, folks, and welcome to the new normal. Yes, no matter how you got here, the fact is that it is your new life, and we're all in this together. I'm gonna do a couple of disclaimers first. I am not at all a medical doctor or medical person whatsoever. I am like 65 years old and was diagnosed about 25 years ago. So I have a lot of experience and a lot of things to tell you. First of all, when it comes to ataxia, there are over 100 types and counting. That is sporadic or dominant or recessive. There's all kinds of them, and you have one of them. Uh, cons- Consider me to be your teacher. If I can give you a lot of facts, a lot of answers to a lot of questions. You can do a lot of research and you can do all kinds of things and have a whole pile of answers in front of you, and it don't mean a thing until you practice it, until you actually do it, until you live it. Yes, unfortunately, you have to live ataxia in order to understand it really well. Um, Most people have never heard of ataxia. The fact is that you never did either until it hit you right between the eyes. Um, it's just a fact of life that we have to deal with, and the better our attitude, the more we will be able to deal with it. I have a quote here on the top. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I want you to know about ataxia. I went through 25 years of nonsense trying to figure things out, and I learned the hard way, and you don't have to. Learn from my experience. Ataxia is a symptom of something else and its own condition. Yes, ataxia, there are actually two ataxias, the symptom and the condition. Now, a symptom will be something like ataxia is a symptom of a stroke or a heart attack, maybe a symptom of substance abuse, maybe a symptom of some other kind of condition or illness or whatever. And ataxia is also what they call it refers to a series of cerebellar dysfunctions. Simply means you have ataxia if your cerebellum isn't working properly. It's yeah, it's really that simple. It makes no difference what type you have ataxia. Whether you have an SCA, whether you have Friedrich's, whether you have episodic, whether you have with ocular motor apraxia, it all doesn't matter. You have ataxia. How you got there doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You have ataxia. Learn ataxia. You don't need to know SCA 23. You need to know ataxia. Some symptoms are blanket to all ataxias, no matter the original cause. It's going to affect your walking and balance. You'll probably have slurred or slow speech. Most people have vision issues. Most people have a declining penmanship and ability to draw, and it's basically poor overall muscle coordination and motor skills. Now, the condition ataxia, some may be quick and severe, others very mild with an extremely slow descent, and most are somewhere in between, but none are favorable. Sometimes a person might be in a wheelchair within 5 years. Other people may go for 30 years before they're considering a wheelchair. There's a lot of factors involved. You may learn some medical terminology along the way, but I try to give info in plain English. You will get practical advice from those of us that live it every day. I as you progress in your journey here, you're going to find you need a good medical team, a good support team, and a good family team. You need them all. You really do. You cannot have just one or two and expect to get in where you have to have all three. You need medical expertise. You need good support from other people that have been where you are going. And once again, I have been doing this for 25 years. And I am just one of the many, many out there who will be able to get you some advice, and hopefully you'll uh, realize some sanity from what we tell you, because there's so much misinformation, and if not outright lies and total falsehoods out there, that it's really hard to believe anything these days. Well, you can believe the other Ataxians that have been there for a while. They're gonna they'll probably give you a lot of tips and advice that you won't believe, because you simply think that it's too bizarre a way of life. But the rest of us know a little bit different. It is a very strange way of life, but it is what we have. It's the cards that we're dealt, and it's what we got to do, what we have to do with it. We can either play or we can fold. I'm going to play. Exceptions. I want to talk about exceptions. When it comes to ataxia, there are hundreds and thousands of exceptions. And by that, obviously, I mean that maybe something you learned, something that you did some research doesn't apply to you. Well, that happens. Ataxia is a very complicated thing with a lot of variables and a lot of misinformation. Therefore, when you do the research and you are trying to find out something, you may come across some stuff that is like totally bizarre to you, but it can be a fact. Like I said before, there's a lot of misinformation out there, so you've got to be really careful as to what you're researching and believing. Once again, the info that I'm doing here and in my book and in the videos in my Facebook group and whatever, covers the vast majority. There's always, always, always going to be an exception. And just because you might be an exception does not make anything that you learn false or misleading. It just simply does not apply to you. Okay. This might be new to you, but there are many of us around. In the United States, I know some of you may be from other countries, but in the United States, it is estimated that there are approximately 150,000 cases involving ataxia. Now, a lot of those were never diagnosed. A lot of them have no idea that they have something wrong with them. A lot of them have no idea what is wrong with them. Um, so that 150,000 could be whittled down to a, a, a much smaller number when it comes to people that actually know about it and what they have. Once again, you never heard of ataxia? None of us did, but it will become a household word. Ataxia. Say it over and over again. It's going to be a part of your vocabulary. Also, when it comes to social media, many posts are commented on even when the individual commenting has no correct answer or any logical information. It's just a fact. People are diagnosed, they find out something is wrong, and they want to talk about it. They want to help you. You're asking a question, they will get on there and they will chime in and have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. However, they are talking and they are making themselves feel better, and it's all good. It's just you learn after a while what to listen to and what not to listen to. Okay. Like I said, they may not have a correct answer or any logical information. Somebody may post a thing about whatever, and somebody will chime in and say, "Oh yeah, my nephew has ataxia." Well, we're very sorry for your nephew, but it has nothing to do with the post. So things like this, and when people, even though maybe there's 100 different types, some people will get on there and say there are 26 different types. Well, that doesn't help anybody. It really, false information helps absolutely no one. It confuses people more than it helps. So please do me and everybody else a favor. If you don't know the answer, don't chime in. That's all. And also, you got to remember that Google is a search engine. It is not an answer machine. People would tell you all the time, "Oh, Google this, Google that," or when you want to research something, you're going to punch up Google and go to town with your research. However, Google is a search engine, just like any other ones. Bing or Internet Explorer or Chrome or whatever. They're all just search engines. You're going to type in a word and they're going to give you sites and articles and what have you. It's up to you to decide what to believe and what not to believe. It's not an answer machine. It is simply a search engine. If everybody understood that, I think maybe this world would be a better place. You can't just Google everything and expect to prove or disprove your question. It doesn't work that way. It's a search engine. You've got to get that concept down. There is a Facebook group called Ataxia Sucks. Which, okay, if that's your thing, that's your thing. If you think your life sucks, it will suck. If you think your life is awesome, your life will be awesome. It's And one of the things that I say all the time, attitude is everything. That's why some thrive and some falter. It's all in what's up in between your ears, inside your head. Your attitude is everything. You are not sick. You have a broken part. Many just don't get that. Um, the problem is when a person with ataxia tries to describe themselves, they say, "Oh, they're sick with this. This is their illness," or it's not a sickness. You have a broken part. When you have a broken cerebellum. When you have a broken leg, you're not sick. When you have a broken arm, you're not sick. You have a broken cerebellum. Why all of a sudden are people sick? It doesn't work that way. And it's not just a matter of being sick. It's once again refers back to that attitude is everything. If you think you are sick, you will walk around like a sick person. A healthy ataxian lives much better than a sick ataxian. It's just that simple. Ataxia itself has absolutely nothing to do with your health. Uh, uh, Obesity, uh, diabetes, addictions, those are sicknesses. This ataxia is not a sickness, and once you have that concept down, you can get the whole sickness thing out of your head, and you're gonna find out that your life is gonna be a whole lot better when you finally decide that you're not sick. It's up to you to make the best of a crappy situation. No one wants to hear complaints, as everyone has some sort of issue, and that's true, and we've all heard it a million times. Someone else is going to complain about their bad back, and they they're coughing like this and they're sneezing like that and this and that and the other, and you start talking about ataxia, and since nobody has any idea what the heck you are talking about, they just really don't want to hear it. So it, it it's especially irritating to someone else if you're trying to explain the ataxia and you don't know really yourself. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for. So you know what ataxia is, you know what it does, you know why it does what it does, and once you have those concepts down, life becomes just a little bit easier. It's never going to be the same as it used to be, but it will get easier, and you can take that to the bank. Anyways, we'll see you on the next webinar, and that's all for now.